Good morning, folks. This is Impeached President plus one day. A lot of times I like some of the stuff that comes out of different sites on the net, Conservative Treehouse being one of them. But I got to tell you something. They're cracked in the head on this thing about Pelosi being able to use delaying the sending of articles over to the Senate as a ploy to try to get more information and specifically go after tax returns and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to work out for her at all. In fact, my suspicion is that now Trump wins immediately at the Supreme Court with regards to his petition to block the subpoenas, because the argument is moot. And sitting on a resolution that you've already passed. Remember, you have a transmission resolution that has to be passed by the House, but the actual articles of impeachment have already been passed. So arguing that you now need this information in the context of impeachment doesn't go anywhere because you've already done the impeachment. Now, if you're going to try to start another impeachment inquiry, well, but that's not. I think you're going to see the court say, that's too cute by half, lady. Sorry, but no. So my guess is that what Pelosi is actually after here is trying to get some kind of agreement on how the trial gets structured and, whether or not they can call witnesses and things like this. The problem is that they have no leverage with which to enforce that. And she now knows this. And so now she's trying to figure out, well, how do I play this game with that? The Senate, however, does not have to wait for that to come over. And in fact, it could be argued that the House has an obligation to transmit what they passed. Although I don't know about the constitutional aspects of that. Can the House sit on this for an indefinite period? I suppose constitutionally they probably can, but doing so makes it a legal nullity. And so that's kind of a problem there. I think there's a real issue, but I think we're here from a standpoint of where do you go from here? And the here is you ran off the edge of the cliff, Nancy. Now either crap or get off the pot, because you claim that you impeached the president, but okay, fine. Now what about it? You can't sit on this waiting for the election and then say, well, now we'll send the articles over, because that's your legislation dies when the session of the Congress dies. So, is this something that you can just go that simple with? Well, I don't think so. I am looking forward to the battle that's coming here with regards to the rest of this process, because my guess is that Pelosi is going to sit on this for a day or so, and then she's basically going to have to crap or get off the pot. And I don't see any possible way that you're going to get there from here in terms of being able to, to just sit on it and force what they want. And as far as McConnell coming out and saying, well, this is, I'm sorry that I'm not an impartial juror. Well, guess what, Nancy? You guys seem to forget that during the impeachment of President Clinton, this entire line of well, you have to play by the evidence game was attempted to be run on Chief Justice Rehnquist. And Rehnquist not only refused, he went exactly the other way around. And he said, no, sorry, that's not how it works. You guys can decide this however you want, including, if you'd like, strictly on a partisan basis. And so, and that's, the Constitution is silent on that, lady. So you go ahead and you have fun with that. But there's nowhere you can go from a litigation point of view. There's nowhere to go from a lawfare point of view. Your petitions for additional information from the Trump administration with regards to this impeachment inquiry have just been mooted by your own action because you took the vote. Now, as long as you held the process open in the Judiciary Committee, you could probably make the argument that there's the tension there. but I think it's gone now at this point. So we'll see what happens. But my guess is that this thing is going to go over to the Senate and die a very quick death. I suspect that the Senate is now looking into precedent and rules and trying to figure out whether or not they can actually dismiss this before it gets there, essentially making it dead before it arrives. I think the answer to that is probably no. But the other side of it is that it's a non-event from a standpoint of being able to actually do anything until it gets there. So Pelosi wants to sit on this through the 2020 election. She can do it. But then, regardless of what happens, the entire thing's a moot issue because her unexecuted bill, if you will, which is what she has at this point, dies with the Congress. And that's just how it works. Would have to be reintroduced and repassed. Of course, if she doesn't have the gavel, that's not going to happen either, is it? So, yeah. I am kind of chuckling this morning at the idea that we're going to continue to play this game instead of, we did our thing, now you guys do your thing. And the idea that the House has the ability to twist arms on this is just is uproariously funny. Let her name her managers. If she doesn't want to do that, that's fine. But like I said, I don't think the Senate can probably toss it until they actually get it. But if she chooses not to send it, then from a standpoint of there being an obligation to try this thing, it doesn't exist because the obligation to try the case occurs when the case is sent to them, and there's no case. So anyway, the fun and games of impeachment. And hey, guys, if you haven't read the article this morning about the homeless situation and the scolds that are all running around that actually caused it, you really ought to. All right, have a good one, folks, and I will be talking with you soon.